crazy faith, man. Crazy faith. Like, faith will make you do some crazy things. You gotta believe. You gotta trust in him.
It's the day that the Lord has made.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Juno the Vibes. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys for tuning in to yet another one of my videos. Shout out to all my new subscribers. I really appreciate y'all's time and just energy y'all are giving me to receive these messages. I hope that these messages are healing and just really like food for your spirit, honestly, and helping you on your journey with God. After today's video, I'll be very surprised if you do not start building a relationship with Christ, if you don't already have one already. I was thinking about something when I was setting up for my videos today. I was just like, it's just crazy. Like, this is what it looks like and feels like when you finally build a relationship with God. I was just basically saying, when you finally build a relationship with God and now you know your purpose after feeling lost your whole life and not really knowing what you want to do with your life. Always feeling like you're just floating through the motions. Always wanting to change what you want to be when you grow up. That was literally me, y'all, like my whole life. And it's just crazy how God used something so dark in such a like sad, scary time in my life, and he used that to help me realize like my purpose. And I'm just forever grateful. Like, I can't really show enough gratitude. I don't show enough gratitude for just that, him saving me, sending people in my path to help me in my journey and just to strengthen me when times got hard and all that. So that's what I want to talk about today. I've already talked about my testimony multiple times on this channel, but if you guys haven't watched my updated testimony, definitely go check it out. Today I just kind of want to talk more about, because I talked about how I was on anxiety and depression medication. I remember looking up YouTube videos trying to find people that had a testimony on, you know, being on anxiety and depression medications and if they were able to get off of them, because it was a fear of mine to be on a medication. I was on Seroquel. It was for anxiety and depression. And also it works for bipolar disorder, schizophrenia. But I would just see testimonies of people. I was in a Facebook group and people were like, oh, I've been on this for 10 years. I've been on this for 15 years. And I was just like, it kind of startled me because like I didn't want to be that person. And I have no judgment against people that have done this, but I didn't want to be that person having to rely on this medication to like fund my life in a sense, to like help me live my life. Like, I just knew that God is just so much bigger than that. Like, I'm like, once I, you know, build a relationship with God, because I would tell y'all in the beginning of the testimony, I started dealing with stuff real heavy. Like, always kind of throughout my life, I used to feel like a little down, and I would always be like, I would call myself Eeyore, because I would be in my feelings, y'all. And sometimes I never really went through like a dark depression, I don't think, until this hit. Like, I would have moments that would probably be like depressive states, kind of, but it wasn't like a true depression like I had seeped into when I acquired this anxiety disorder around October 2021. But yeah, I definitely felt like there was always something wrong with me in a sense. I wish I would have gotten therapy early, at an early age and stuff. Mental illness had been a part of my family on my mom and my dad's side. I had certain people in my family take medicines growing up and stuff like that. Not everybody, but you know, certain people. So it wasn't an uncommon thing, basically, is what I'm getting at. And I just always felt like something was off with me. But you know, I always kept going. It wasn't anything severe to where I was like, oh, I need to go get some help right now, until it was that way. October 2021, one day I woke up. I hadn't really been getting a lot of sleep for like 3 or 4 days. Either no sleep at all, like just staying up. We're getting 2-3 hours of sleep. Not always uncommon, but back to back to back. And then I realized like one day I had an urgency to clean. I just wanted to clean my whole house. But then I noticed I was getting sidetracked. I noticed it was taking me a long time to reply to text messages. And I was overthinking everything, typing something, then erasing it. And like, just something was up with me, man. Because normally, like, I'm a type person, I know what I want to write in a text message. Like, oh, right, I don't really got to think too hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not really a person that would just goes on a cleaning spree. Like, I'm running on like 3 hours of sleep, 5 hours of sleep over the last 3 days. Why do I have urgency to clean? Like, it was just giving manic, right? I was just very manic-y, and I didn't know it at the time until my dad had let me know. Like, it sounded like something one of my family members had been going through, because he would help my family members who dealt with mental illness. Thank God my dad doesn't deal with any mental illness. I feel like God literally placed him as one of those angels, like, that walk on this earth, literally, because like he has been the bond, the the bonding glue to hold our family together, because a lot of us struggle, and he is just like, man, I don't know how he does it. Lord Jesus, God gives him the strength, okay? Like, God is so good. I'm just so thankful for my father. I talk about that in my videos before, but I'm not gonna get emotional. Like, I'm just not. But yeah, so he was just like, it sounds like you might be dealing with like some manic episode or something like that. And I remember like something clicking, because I would deal with my daughter's behavior. She has ADHD, and she would just have really bad behavior in school sometimes. She was transitioning from daycare to kindergarten, and the kindergarten the school she was at was just not it, first of all. But I remember coming home one day after something happened at the school, and I remember just something clicked in me. I told my dad, I said, I don't feel like I want to like take my life or something. I said, I just feel like I'm done. Like, I just want to be done. I just want to sit. Kind of sounds like depression if you think about it. Like, I don't want to try no more. I'm just here. Like, I just can't. And he was worried about me. I remember he literally came over. He popped up. He stayed on the phone with me. I think he thought I was gonna possibly hurt myself, but I wasn't in that state of mind at that moment. But yeah, so anyways, I just remember that day, and it was like 3 or 4 days after that, that's when I started dealing with the sleep problems, and then I was just real manicky that day. So anyways, I woke up one morning, it was like a Tuesday, I remember, and then I was like, man, I need to go to the hospital. Like, first I tried to get some sleep, and I said, once I get a little bit of sleep, it was so hard for me to fall asleep, y'all. I didn't even mean to go in detail like this, but I could not fall asleep. I was crying, like dark thoughts were coming to my head. It was crazy. I was like, bro, what is going on? Like, this is insane. Like, I've never felt like this before. Like I said, in my past childhood, I would deal with some stuff, but nothing like that. It was a lot, and I was just like, what the freak is going on? I ended up going to the doctor, trying to get some help walking like at a hospital, the emergency room. They said they help with mental illness. Anyways, I thought I was crazy, that I was on drugs. I had to leave there. So anyways, I eventually finding like a center to help me for mental illness, basically. And they were telling me it seems like I might deal with anxiety. Then I ended up having a freaking panic attack. I'm just trying to sum it up, because this would be a 50-minute video if I don't. But if y'all want a 50-minute video, let me know, because I can definitely go into detail more about this. But right now I'm trying to give you the Cliff Notes version. Basically, I went to the doctor. They didn't want to help me there. I have a whole testimony on that. Like, they thought I was literally just on drugs. Like, that's what I was gonna tell y'all. Don't let anybody tell you what you're going through isn't real. Like, if you feel different, because I didn't even feel like myself anymore. I felt like I was literally just going through the motions. Like, I didn't feel like I had my personality. I just felt broken. I felt lost. I felt weird. I had an Apple Watch. I had a heart rate monitor. My heart rate monitor was saying that my heart rate was way different than what it was. I mean, it was like way higher than it normally was. It was weird. Like, it was at like resting 100. That's not normal for me, because I wasn't like super extremely overweight or something like that. Like, my resting heart rate, I think, should have been like a 70. Like, at the highest 75, and it was at 100. It was just weird. So yeah, anyways, y'all, I ended up having my first panic attack because I went to the hospital the next day, just trying to get all the physical things checked out to make sure I was good. Like, I was really trying to figure out what was wrong with me. I did not feel myself. And they were literally, and this is before I knew Christ, y'all. I was not saved. October 2021, I was not saved. I got saved January 2022. And I talk about that in my video. Y'all might want to go check it out. One of my friends literally would send me scriptures when I was going through stuff. It was literally God just like calling out to me, basically. Y'all should really watch that testimony before y'all watch this one. But if you're just really here to try to figure out about the medication situation, stay tuned in. I'm gonna get to that. But yeah, so I went there. I was hooked up to the machines. They were making sure I wasn't dealing with anything physical, like physical with my heart. And while I'm on the machines, I literally start panicking. I feel like I could not breathe. I had my first panic attack, y'all. I thought I was dying. I didn't know, nobody ever told me about a panic attack. I knew nothing about that. So I just thought I was dying, okay? I called the nurse button. The nurses ran in. They were like, calm down. You're having a panic attack. It's okay. Just calm down. They like pressed something. Some medication came to me, and I was able to calm down instantly. So like the medication stopped the panic attack that time. I ended up having another panic attack a few days later, and my daughter was with me too, y'all. It was so scary. I know she was just probably so worried. I feel so bad even taking her through all that. But you know, kids, they learn stuff, you know, and if she ever dealt with anything like that, she would know that everything's gonna be okay, because I don't get panic attacks anymore. Well, I told you I had like one trigger on me in like January, but that was a testimony in itself. Go watch the video, He's Not Done With You Yet. But when I got saved, like, I didn't get any more panic attacks, because even when I got on this medicine, which I'm gonna tell y'all, I ended up going to a walk-in clinic. First I tried this natural medicine. It's called Inner Peace, y'all, and it worked for a few days. It helped me through what I was going through, but then the darkness just seeped through that natural medication. It's a natural medication. You can buy it over the counter, but the darkness started to seep through that, y'all, and I ended up having to go to a walk-in clinic because it got dark. it got real dark. And then I got on Seroquel. Seroquel was scary at first when I first started taking it, but when my body got used to it, it helped. I would say that once it got in my system, I felt like my normal self again. Like I finally felt my sense of self come back. And you know, once it kicked in my system after a few weeks, I started feeling a lot better, y'all. I felt normal again. I still would have panic attacks, but not until I got the COVID. So I got on the medicine in like end of October. I got COVID in January, y'all. When I got COVID, when I tell y'all I was getting panic attacks left and right, that junk was so scary. I would cry a little bit, y'all, panic attack. It was bad. Things got even worse. End up in the psych ward, all that. Watch the YouTube video, y'all. Watch my YouTube videos on the mental health testimony about the psych ward and all that. I ended up in the psych ward because I was dealing with a lot of mental stuff, but I also was having a spiritual awakening. So my spiritual warfare was real. I'm learning about God. Like my friend just put me on. I just got saved. Now I'm talking about God. My family's confused. They're like, okay, if you weren't talking about God before, you're out of the woodworks talking about God, trying to put everybody on to God, like your family's gonna be confused. Like, and then my mind just wasn't stable because of all the stuff I was going through. So let's just talk about when I got out the psych ward, right? So those was the last panic attacks I had ever experienced, y'all. Like when I got saved and I gave my life to Christ and I started to not worry as much, because I still worry sometimes, I'm human. I'm working on fully surrendering and giving it all to Christ. But when you truly surrender and you give it all to Christ, like it just makes things so much easier, because you allow your burdens to be on Christ. Basically, I wasn't getting more panic attacks. I was feeling like myself, gave my life to Christ, you know, but I just started feeling this urge. Like I started looking at people on YouTube with the medicine and like, how did they ever get off the medicine? I just felt like I wanted to, something in me, like, bro, it was just something in me, like my spirit was just yearning. And it was just like, I didn't know if it was me or the spirit, but I know now that it was the spirit after the full you know, testimony is played out. I'm over here like, okay, I want to get on medicine. I'm researching. It was this one guy's testimony. He was like, he tried multiple times. Like it was about 3 times. He said he would go to different churches. They would go for deliverance to different places. And basically he was like, you just have to speak into existence though. Like pray to God and thank him for already receiving the blessing, already receiving the healing. So I would start doing that and I would just pray and, you know, God, I would write in my journal, God, you heal me from panic attacks. And I've talked about that. I made a video on how God healed me from panic attacks. I was like, I want to know if I got a full healing. I was like, Lord, if you give me this full healing, like I was like, I just can't wait to tell when you give me this full healing. I can't wait to tell people about this. I can't wait to tell people more about you and just point all the glory back to you. You know what I'm saying? Because you're the reason that I was able to overcome everything that I dealt with. What the enemy meant for evil, the anxiety, the depression, all that stuff. Like God worked it out, you know, because he can deliver you from these things. I'm not a health professional. I'm not telling y'all to go get off medication today, because that's not what I did. What I did was I sought the doctor that I was going to for the medication. She straight up told me, if you feel like you want to try without the medication, go for it. She was like, taper off of it. She told me how to do it. Like I was taking a pill a night. Then she was like, do half a pill a night for like 2 weeks. And then, you know, do half a pill every other night for 2 weeks. And then talk to your health professional, y'all. Don't taper off your medicine off this video. Please don't. You know, God has a different journey for everybody. Even the guy said he had to try it 2 or 3 times before it actually worked. He then almost gave up one time, but he remained faithful to God. You know, he believed that God would deliver him in God's timing, y'all, in his timing. So that was January 2022 when I got saved, right? During the summertime, I was like August, September, I was like, man, I want to get off. Man, I would talk to some of my family about it. Some of them was kind of scared because of how bad my mind was gone. They were like, maybe you shouldn't, you know. If God wants you to know anything or give you visions, like he can still give it to you while you're on medicine. And then I had people that were very, very supportive. They were all supportive, but they were also worried a bit. And I get that, because like they thought they lost me to like mental illness, bad. So bad to where they didn't know if I was going to be in a facility for the rest of my life because of the stuff I was dealing with. Like it got dark. Especially when I had COVID, it was bad, y'all. I was Baker active for 3 nights. But I also, you know, had people that were just literally like, I don't know, it was like God speaking through them in a sense now that I think about it. Like, you know, do it. You know, you have your dad. My dad's there to help me if anything goes wrong. Once I knew my dad was on board and everything, I decided to go ahead and taper off these medications, right? And I was going to wait till after the holidays because I didn't want to do it during the holidays. It was like Thanksgiving, then my birthday, then Christmas. And it was just a lot. And I didn't want anything to go wrong. And I guess I just didn't have 100% faith, because when I was working out one day at the gym, I felt in my spirit, I felt like, do you not trust me? And at the time, like, I don't know why I got chills. I feel like I'm about to cry. But at the time, like, I did not know that was God. But I was like, dang, like, is it the enemy trying to, like, trick me and make me do something stupid? But I had to push all that stuff back to the back of my mind. And I really felt like God was just saying, like, do you not trust me? Like, why are you waiting until after the holidays? If you feel like I gave you a true healing, like, why don't you try, you know? Try, taper off this medicine and see what happens, you know, and see if I gave you a full healing. And indeed, he gave me a full healing. That night, I started tapering off my medication, y'all. It was crazy faith, man. Crazy faith. Like, faith will make you do some crazy things. You got to believe. You got to trust in him. And like I said, y'all, I'm not telling y'all to go get off your medication right now or whatever it is you're dealing with. But you need to truly surrender. I also had surrendered, y'all. I've changed my ways. Like, I was trying not to live in the world. Living fully for God, fully surrendered, being obedient to the Lord as well. Let me add that. Like, I'm not living for myself, I'm living for the Lord. I'm truly trying to change my ways and all this stuff. With the correct heart posture, you're not going to be perfect. But I would say that as well in my testimony. Like, it just wasn't handed to me. So now I'm able to talk about this today. I was able to taper off the medication, y'all. And, like, it's been a year now. I'm off medication. It's been a year now. You know, we still will overthink and have worries and stuff and have sad moments. You're human. You're gonna have moments where you're sad. That does not mean you're depressed. You're gonna have moments where you overthink and your heart beats fast. That does not mean that you have an anxiety disorder. Because I had generalized anxiety disorder was one thing that said that I had, and depression. When I had those panic attacks in the hospital, they pretty much diagnosed me then. But yeah, like, God, he is so faithful. So faithful. I feel just as myself and just as human and as real and full of life as I did before I got on the medication, which I had to get on once I got the generalized anxiety disorder and depression in October of 2021, I did not feel like myself. But when I got on Seroquel and it got in my system, I felt like myself again. And I was scared if I got off, like, I wouldn't feel like myself and I would go back to that weird feeling, the justice that I don't know, okay? I just felt weird. I felt sad. I felt anxious. I couldn't even work out, y'all. My anxiety was so bad. Because I asked the lady, I was like, even when I'm folding my laundry, I was like, my heart rate said like 130. She was like, generalized anxiety disorder. She was like, you have anxiety about everything. Even though I didn't feel anxious about that, she said it's just having anxiety about everything. Any type of anxiety, any type of depression, anything like that. Believe God can heal you. Start changing your ways. Like, try to allow God to transform you inside out. Truly submit your life to Christ. Put your life in his hands and let him guide you. Okay, you can be delivered from this stuff. I truly believe that you can be delivered from this stuff if you have faith. God has healed cancer. He has healed things they say are not healable. Generalized anxiety disorder, I wasn't supposed to be able to be healed from that according to the doctors. They said this is a lifelong thing. Says who? Don't put him in a box. I keep telling y'all, don't put him in a box. Lord, let them know not to put you in a box, okay? Because he can exceed all your expectations, y'all. Just know that, okay? Know that. I love y'all. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. If y'all want me to go to deeper detail, because I know I was talking real fast because I was trying to get it all down in a compact message. I know our attention spans are short. So if you want more detail, let me know. I will make more videos on this, probably regardless. I'm just grateful. I thank God. Yeah. And I thank y'all for listening. Love y'all. Like, comment, subscribe, and share the video to anybody you feel like needs this. Have a blessed day.
It's the day that the Lord